Welcome, my name is Colleen Tauke and I'm the sewing specialist here at Fons and Porter. In this Quilting Quickly tutorial, I'm going to show you how to put together the blocks for the quilt called Pastel Zig Zag. If you'd like to purchase this pattern, please visit our website. You can see the quilt behind me and the dynamic zigzag that runs from top to bottom through this quilt. We've got one technique that you can use to make all the pieces really quickly. We're going to be using 10-inch pre-cut squares and a wonderful array of very romantic pinks, blues, turquoises, and yellows. And we're going to be matching it up with another like fabric or contrasting fabric. What you have to do is follow the instructions for which two colors to match up throughout the quilt. Very specific instructions, and so that you make the correct number to fit down through each row so that the design is complete. At the very beginning though, we're going to be using a couple of turquoise ones just so you can see contrast. What I'm going to be doing here first is I'm going to sew all the way around the outside of these two fabrics. I've got right sides together. If you don't feel comfortable sewing without pins, you can put in pins near the outer corners. We're going to set our sewing machine for a 1/4 inch seam, and we're going to stitch the exterior edges all the way around this quilt, or these two blocks. Now, in order to keep organized, like I said, the instructions are very specific about the color combination that you need to pick up and to stitch. Once you've got those stitched and sliced apart, you'll see here in a moment, keep those like pieces together in a pile. And then when it comes to laying it out, you'll be able to pick up that specific pile and be ready to create your rows. Okay. It's a great way to practice a 1/4 inch seam. It also might be a good project to start as a beginner or with a quilt friend or a young person you're wanting to teach to quilt. Working on a 1/4 inch seam like this, very repetitive and very easy for a beginner to start with. One side left, get it through. Now when we go to actually the cutting part next, whoops, cut that thread. You're going to want to take this to the ironing board and you're going to want to press and set that seam to kind of embed those threads around the edges. So make sure that you take the time to press your blocks, and then you're going to be cutting them apart with a diagonal cut, corner to corner. Okay. Now when we do this, we're going to be creating a lot of bias edges, so you're going to want to be very careful with your blocks and handle them gently. So we're going to go diagonally, corner to corner one direction, slide the mat and go diagonally, corner to corner in the opposite direction. This is a way to make 4 triangle squares relatively quickly, 4 that are all of the same matching fabrics. Now remember, those outer edges are all bias edges, so be very gentle with them. Kind of open them with your finger first, take them to the iron, then pressing those seam allowances to one side. It's kind of a reminder about bias edges and that we can cause distortion when we're ironing. So gently take them to the ironing board, press that seam then nice and flat. And like I said, take those blocks then, and once you've got them all pressed, keep them all together and go on to the next pair of blocks so that you can create that all the blocks needed. Now, once you're ready to start putting together your vertical rows through this quilt, I've got some of them already joined. You'll want to follow the diagrams. Slide this out of the way a bit, because there is just a little bit of something you need to notice when you're putting together these rows, that they're offset just a little bit. Let's see. The green and yellow is our next one. See, even when you've worked with them for a while, want to make sure that, let's see, purple and yellow. Purple and yellow should be my first row. See, even me working with them all the time. Okay, here, purple's on the outside, then yellow, and it's offset by half a block. So now you can see that yellow zigzags start to go down through there. So you've got green, and there's a green that goes with it. Again, this is offset by half a block. You'll want to measure and make sure that is centered right in the center there. And then a blue print with blue here. And I'm out of space. You might need a design wall to work on this one. But you'll see they're offset, and then you will go back once you join the rows together and cut straight along the top. So you'll want to measure the halfway point here and make sure this is aligned. Follow the diagrams in your pattern. If you'd like to see more of our Quilting Quickly videos, please visit our website. Thanks for joining me today.